this bumper bang with really long hair, as well as do these really simple kind of vintage waves, just a different type of wave for this look. And I hope you like it. And the sponge rollers I'm using are from Classy Rebel, and I really love them. They give you a lot of volume. And then I'm also going to do a variation at the end of the video where I show you how to take a second sponge and roll up the back if you want to do an updo. And I may put that in a different video. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. I'm just taking an end of a comb and doing it about the width of my bang. And I'm going pretty far back because I want that volume. I want all that hair to cover it. So just take your time. I'm putting an elastic around my bangs and the top part. And I'm just making sure there's no tangles. And here's the sponge. It's a really great sponge with 2 clips on each end. I find that I don't use them that often, but there's like a wire inside the sponge. So as you can see, I can bend it. And that's what really helps with long hair and if your hair is heavy. So I just keep bending it in, giving it a shape. And I like to pull it forward. And I'm putting a bobby pin in each side, straight down and then to the side. And I've just slightly put it on the bottom. And then I'm spreading the hair out and just filling it up without making gaps. And if there is a gap, the sponge does cover it. You want to get a sponge that matches your hair color. And they come in all different hair colors, brown, blonde, and black. And that's usually good enough. I'm just getting in those loose ends, just shaping it as I go. Now I'm going to section off the longer parts of the hair, splitting it in 2. I'm going to just keep it neat and clean by dividing it. And then I'm just going to like take maybe about 1 inch all around, and I'm just dividing it with these tiny clips. I find they're really helpful so that when I'm curling I don't get it tangled. And then here's a retractable wand. I just got it at Sally's. It's 1 inch, and the top part actually retracts in, so it's great for travel. And it was on sale for $19 at Sally's. And I'm just winding the hair around. I'm doing it pointing down, holding the end. And then I'm going to basically go, I just keep touching up the loose hairs and stuff as I see them. The perfectionist in me. Okay, so I'm going to continue on sectioning off all around the head. And I'm going to put my glove on. It comes with a 2-finger glove, which is really great, but I felt like it wasn't big enough, so I wanted to use a glove. And of course, I had to switch hands. And now I'm going to continue going all the way around. As you can see, it does a nice little curl. And keep that nice and neat and keep it sectioned. And combing it out, I find it really helps to comb out each section to make sure there's no tangles. And as I go, I even sprayed a little of the starch spray that I had recommended before. It's the Ion Starch Spray, and I find that really holds, but you have to make sure you comb it through. So we're getting some nice large waves, which I thought was really nice. And then I'm going to keep working my way all around the hair, keeping it as clean and neat and sectioned as possible. And I find using smaller sections of hair is easier to work with, but it also gets a better wave or curl. So I'm going to continue going around. And the iron is quite hot. It goes up to 410 degrees. So I'm just going to slide that out. I'm going to give it a little roll. And I love the way it's making like these big, beautiful waves. And so I'm just going to actually clip them together with these tiny hair clips just so I don't wreck those waves or get them caught while I'm continuing on. And the back's always the hardest. It's the longest piece for me. So I'm spraying it slightly with the starch spray, combing it through, making sure, give it a little second to dry because you don't want it wet when you're wrapping around that iron. Otherwise, you're going to hear a sizzle. But I do love how that spray helps hold the curl. And I feel like with the long hair, even though I have volume, it's just an extra little detail. And the waves and the curls, when I do them with that spray, actually hold until I wash my hair. Like, it's amazing. Especially if you have really long hair, you'll know what I mean. Right, and we're going to see how much more hair we have. Keep going. I'm just going to keep sectioning it. And as I go towards the back, it gets longer. So I have to be really patient. Comb it out. I even took a smaller section this time. And I'm continuing to wrap. I really love this curling iron. I just found it. It was on sale, and I thought, why not? I'll try it. And it retracts in, so it's easy for carrying and storage. So that's great for travel. And yeah, check out Sally's. They may still have them. They were only $20 reduced, so I will get you the name and I'll put that in the end credits with all the other tools that I used to do this hairstyle. We're just going to keep going. And once you get the hang of it, it's not going to take you that long. You'll just find your flow with it. Okay, and then I'm just going to unroll a bit and then let that curl come out. And if you don't like your curl, you can just redo it. And just keep in mind, if you have layers, they're going to be different lengths. So I have a few layers at the ends of my hair, so I always have to like kind of measure them out. There we go. I'm going to keep going. A little spray. Oops, and I just kind of let that end go out a little bit. So I'm going to do it again. Just give it a nice tight roll. And if you're worried about burning your head, you can hold it an inch or two away from your head, wrap it around, and then roll the curling iron towards you. So that way it's easier to work with, especially with the longer pieces. And then we're going to continue on. The very back is always challenging, so making sure that's nice and clean. And I got the spray on the ends. And like I said, just give it a second to dry. I usually spray my hair throughout, comb it through, give it a second to dry. This time I decided to try spraying each section. And it really didn't make a difference because the spray is pretty strong. You just want to make sure it's evenly distributed or you'll get clumps. You can't see them, but it kind of feels knotty. So I'm going to do that one more time. And just grab that nice and tight so it's taut. And I find the curl turns out better. Oh, one more time. I didn't love that curl, so I'm going to just, and it just takes practice. I have to keep practicing. So just be patient. Eventually you'll get it. And there we go. Better. You can see it's more uniform. Okay, and now I'm going to start working on the other side, but first I'm going to make sure that it's all sectioned clean and neat. I'm just going to spray it through this time, and now I'm combing it through to just like speed up what I'm doing. And then I'm going to section off. So this time I tried sectioning each individual section in 1-inch sections ahead of time, just to see if that made it faster. And I got these cute little clips. There was a pack of 12 at Rite Aid for $2.99, and I like using them on the long hair. I found the long banana clips didn't really hold it that well. It was great for when I wanted to shape my waves, but so I just want to clip these away, and then I'm going to continue on. Now what I'm going to do is reverse hands so that the wand is in the same direction as I used it on the other side. So I changed the glove over and I moved the wand, switched hands. So I'm curling my hair in the same direction all around, and we're getting those nice ringlets again. And that section's a little big, so I'm just going to spray and comb. I'm going to give it a try. And it does get quite hot. I used a regular glove I just got at Walmart for $2, but the actual iron comes with a 2-finger, like I mentioned, and it's a bit of a stiffer material. But like I said, I wanted something that covered my whole hand, so you could get a different type of winter glove if you just wanted to protect your hand. I just like to be careful because I have long nails and I'm always doing so many things at once. All right. And then I'm going to section that off. Just keep that nice and neat. Continue on with my next section. And you just do that all the way around. So hopefully this isn't too tedious, but it'll give you an idea if you're not sure. And it might be worth it just to watch. So keeping those sections nice and neat, spraying when I feel like I need to, combing through, and then switching those hands, rolling it around nice and taut, keeping it in the same direction as the other side. Holding it, all you need is about 10 seconds, that's it. That's how hot this iron is. Okay. And I feel like I'm gonna go back and redo that. grab those pieces. And then once again, just rolling it nice and tight. Getting it as close as possible to the head where it's comfortable. And then letting those curls slide out. And then I'm just going to grab them and pull them all together so they don't get tangled with the new section that I'm doing, just because as I go down, once again, my hair is getting longer and longer. And see, as you can see, it just easily can catch. So I want to make sure those hairs are as separate as possible. And there we go, one more time. And you can tell I'm going down towards the back because the curling iron starts going down lower as to where I'm grabbing it. So there we go, the very back section. You can see how much longer that is. And I'm giving it a twist to get it around the curling iron quicker and an all-in-one section. So I just twisted it at the top before I went round. And I found that helped keep the hair together and get it on the iron faster. Once again, I twist. So I twisted it and then I wrapped it around. And I don't know if you're catching that when you see it, but you can always pause and check it out. Alright, so now I'm going to unclip it, and you can see all the curls and the waves that are happening, which was pretty simple. Okay, so now I've finished curling everything. I'm just taking a wide tooth comb. I'm actually very gently running it through, and I'm just kind of like separating those curls, almost blending them in, not separating them. And I just want to make sure, you can see how I got the ends. I'm really happy with that. I've got these nice, large, flowy waves. And I got a little product in the back, so I'm just combing through. So pretty effortless and pretty beautiful and really easy to do. And you can see that. I'm just going to like play with the light and try and move around so you can see those curls. It's just a fun way to do long hair, and you can see that beautiful S pattern. There you go. And then I'm just pulling it forward, trying to get you the best view possible. Now I'm going to add in some hair flowers. I made these. I got a bunch on one stem for $2 from Walmart. I really love the blue colors that are in season. I love deep blue. The large one didn't really look good, so I decided I'm going to do a whole bunch of these tiny blue ones with a couple of magenta. And I made those by just sticking a hair clip on the back with some hot glue. I used a piece of felt and I wrapped it around the clip and then glued that onto the flower. I cut the back of the flower so it was flat. And I find these tiny ones are really good because they don't stick out. And I've covered the whole sponge, as you can see, and you can always use the flowers if you're unsure if you've got the very back, and just stick them in behind. And now I'm using the Illuminating Pomade by Ion, and I just want to like grab any of those loose hairs, just kind of like build up my wave so it's kind of grouped together. As you can see, it's curled really nice on the ends. You can see that S pattern. I'm just kind of like gently running it through and just emphasizing that wave. I'm going to do a little bit on the crown there, just trying to get those loose hairs. And got all those little flowers. You can see how I covered it all. And the hair just spreads around nicely on the sponge. If you have a gap, no big deal. I mean, if it's matching the sponge. And obviously you want to do the best that you can. So if you're worried about that, do the hair as best as you can in the front. Make sure that's even. And then you can use those flowers to kind of cover up at the back if you're not sure if you can spread your hair all around it. And like I said, it's just a little practice. And I'm taking the hairspray and the end of the comb to wrap loose hairs around that bun. So I'm making it as perfect as I can. And then I'm just like evening out the back there so there's no dips or creases. Smoothing that out wherever I can get those loose hairs. I love it. It turned out great. I was really happy with this. And I hope you can grab a lot of tips from this and do the same for yourself. I feel like it's got a very much. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you picked up some good tips with the hair as well. I did a video on the makeup as well. So yeah, so please remember to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.